am a chef. I mean, I don't really attach an importance to the fact woman or male chef. We are all chefs. That's really the problem to enhance women chefs. That means we categorize them.
Yeah, I remember going, oh, God, coming back and crying, and my mum goes, why are you going back? I said, just need to do a year, Mum. Once I've done a year, then that's it. That opens every door to me. I've proved myself, and, you know, and I did.
I always say that I wasn't really ever harassed because I was a woman. I was just harassed because I was a human, and chefs are like equal opportunity assholes. They'll harass anybody they see who's weaker than them.
There's no time if you're slammed on a Friday night to say, I'm sorry I called you a fucking whore, shut the fuck up. Take the dick out of your ass and get this shit done.
When I walk in, I'm gonna respect you, but I'm gonna command the respect back. And once we kind of are on the same page, then we're good.
Table 21. Angel, can you help me with the tempura? And guys, pass me the 2 terrines right now so I can put them on a plate, okay? So they can temper. Argenis, yo volvería más rato. Poquitito busy, huh?
Women have been cooking forever. Women have been the one that cooked for the chef or the men that became a chef. Usually it's like, oh, my mom used to cook this for me. And I was like, okay, so women have been cooking all this time, but you can't make it to a professional side? That is the irony of this, you know what I mean? It's not like you always recall your dad cooking for you.
Burger medium is 3.
Burger medium 3.
Bar 4 is summer squash no uni.
Bar 4 is summer squash no uni.
I'm not sure whether things have improved for women that much in the kitchen. The fight and the struggle and the complaints are still the same. We are a little bit more like the sherbet on the salad. We are some kind of garnish because it looks good. You know, like people need to see that you're promoting women.
Okay, Victor, you're going tartare, yes?
I'm from Chile, Santiago, Chile. My mom raised me to believe I could do whatever I wanted to do. Probably that was her mistake.
Mateo, have you touched base with table 11? Because he ordered fire the wrong food and also they were waiting, okay?
I spoke with him.
So can someone tell me what's going on?
He wants his cod.
Great, he's a pescatarian, but we ordered duck. Okay.
Yeah, he did not order.
Huh?
He didn't order.
That's what I'm saying. Dan ordered a duck.
Yes.
Anyway, C1, C2 is back choice, C1, C2 squash, C3, C4 carpaccio, go all the way on 23.
23.
Vito, you have the face of death. This is a restaurant. Shit happens, okay?
Chumley's was first opened in 1922. You know, Hemingway and all these famous writers would come here and basically hang out.
Ordering duck. Order fire, carpaccio tartare.
My dream is to have my own restaurant and express myself with more freedom that I have here. Like a blank canvas for me to paint. It's how do I express myself on a plate.
Can I get the 3 carrots on 305, please? Dirt Candy is an all-vegetable restaurant in Manhattan on the Lower East Side.
All right, guys, so this is the Brussels sprout tacos. Be careful of...
What we do here is we celebrate vegetables. There's restaurants that are vegetable forward, but they still serve a little meat. But we are the only ones who have taken this huge leap of faith and said, just come to the restaurant for the vegetables. With the fennels on the bottom layer, we have the carta de musica, which is really just fancy Italian for cracker. Then we have some caramelized yogurt, caramelized fennel, ginger cream, cherry puree, dehydrated. I think you have too much butter and not enough salt in this. This is fine. A little bit more salt would be fine, only because you're compensating for the vegetables. Overcooked. Too salty. Could have tried to be better on camera.
Wait, okay, my question was...
Just say yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes. I'm proud to be a woman chef. There's a huge number of women chefs cooking, and we just don't talk about them. And yet somehow people still think that there actually aren't a lot of female chefs or women chefs because they're not really the ones written about, and they're not the important ones. And so that's the uphill battle. If you don't keep talking about us, then we're not going to have a place. We're going to keep getting pushed aside. You can start with this. Big table. Just put it down the middle. My big issue with the industry is in the media. There's sort of been this refusal to celebrate female chefs. You see this over and over again on the big awards, and the best new chefs lists, best new restaurants. They tend to be male chefs. It's always like one woman and 9 men on a cover. The reason women don't have those kinds of restaurants is because they tend to open more mom and pop restaurants because they're only able to get a little bit of money. Without that financial backing, it's really hard to get on those covers. It's hard to win those awards. And so this cycle just goes and goes and goes, and women keep getting left out of this conversation.
That's really the old boys club. If you're not white, if you're not straight, if you don't really fit into a gender norm, of course you're angry.
The media really likes to celebrate young, tough dudes with a lot of tattoos. What's cool is, hey, look at the giant tattoo I got to cover the giant scar I had.
Why do I think all the guys get the attention? Because they probably want it more than we do. Look at me, look at me, look at me, the big swinging dick scenario, like I'm large and in charge and I'm fucking fabulous and I'm killing the game. I remember when Kitchen Confidential came out, I did read it in the first year of college, and I found it very exciting because it sounded like a ride, like a wild ride. Everyone's partying, they're living in these crazy houses together in the middle of LA or New York and making it happen, and all the strife and struggle, but the strife and struggle sounded super sexy. They're badasses, they're party animals, they're sleeping with everybody, they're doing tons of drugs, and they're getting away with it. It adds a touch of melodrama to our industry that we eat like crazy.
There's a saying that men cook for glory and women cook for love. And if we do, it's because of how we were raised and of that social construct. But as a chef, you really want to be judged on your work. Your gender really has nothing to do with it.
Order in VIP, a porgy, and a tartare.
I've been running this restaurant 17 years. I mean, on some level, it was a compulsion. I felt compelled to do this. We've been bombarded by images of what it means to be female or what it means to be male. Growing up in the Midwest was difficult for me. I consider myself gender nonconforming. I didn't like wearing dresses. I was a tomboy. I came from a very food-obsessed family, and, you know, on some level, it was sort of the best part of my childhood. So it's interesting that I've turned that into a life.
I got 3 fly in the window.
Anita Lowe is one of the most amazing chefs in this country. You know, Anita was this really well-respected restaurant in the city. It had, at one point, Michelin stars. It had 3 stars from the New York Times. And she defined a certain place for female chefs in this industry.
The first time that I heard about Anita Lowe at Anissa was through my ex-father-in-law. He was always trying to get me to come to New York because it's like, you see, a woman can run a kitchen, a woman can have a restaurant, you should come to New York. And I was like, okay, sounds amazing, but she's like the one, you know, it's like one woman that is running a restaurant.
I think it would have been really helpful, you know, to have a role model. You know, I'd never worked for a female chef. There weren't a lot of them out there, especially in fine dining, which is what I wanted to do. There weren't, you know, people of color or gay people. So I felt a deep responsibility to be a mentor. You know, I think that's probably important for some young women to see that it's possible, yeah.
As soon as you can you pick up for booth 1, please? All right, Justin, we got a soca, a burger, and a lamb.
Fritter, squash.
1 burger going to 15, other burger going to table 13. Okay, let's get that mac up right now.
Yep.
Let's get that rice right now inside of that pan.
Yes, chef. Got it.
I'm not gonna tell you how to run your kitchen. I'm not gonna tell you about what kitchens are better than other kitchens, but I'm gonna tell you how I run my kitchen. Working in the industry for 10 years before opening this restaurant, I had realized that there were lots of voids in the kitchens that I worked in, and that was not seeing enough women.
Order up, chef, Mac.
Yep. Going to table booth 1.
Order up.
I thought, wow, wouldn't it be awesome if we could create a space that they can come, gain some skill sets. We can run a kitchen, dominate a kitchen in a very male-dominated industry.
May I have that cornbread, please?
Yep, cutting it right now. Hands, please. 1 soba going to table 14.
I've been operating this restaurant for about 3 years. Myself and my husband, Johnny.
Remember, Todd, okay?
Miles is here quite regularly. He knows the staff. When we opened the restaurant, friends would come and take him on a stroll in the neighborhood if he was crying. Customers would take him if I was on the line. He was on my back, strapped to my back when I was cooking.
What colors today?
We're a small restaurant, like any mom and pop, because that's really at the end of the day what we are.
That's the one? Yeah.
It's a very personal space.
Could you pick up this mac and cheese going to booth 1, please? Thank you.
Yeah, being a woman of color, I'm not gonna be, you know, that stereotype that you expect me to be. The first thing my father said is no daughter of mine is gonna go and work for some white person in their kitchen and cook their food. I don't want that for you. I didn't do that. I don't want you to be working as someone's slave. You look at the images in the history of the mammy characters, the nannies that, you know, are always kept in the back, that prepare the food, take care of the children, and the roles of black women and what we've been known for. You know, I'm part American, I'm part Canadian, I'm a dual citizen. So it's a part of my history, and it's also a part of the history of what I know of diners and the sit-in movement in the Deep South. You know, when I think about what my life would have been like if I was, you know, living in, say, the South in the United States in the 1950s, opening up a restaurant as a black woman with a white husband, this shit would not happen.
I often get asked to do pastries, and I'm like, well, sometimes I get asked to do pastries or desserts for events. I'm like, do I look like a pastry chef? I'm the fish girl. I've been a chef for approximately 12 years. And it's been about 1.5 years, 2 years since I haven't been in a traditional restaurant environment. When someone says, you're a woman chef, I don't really hear that. I just hear chef. Chef is a chef is a chef. I left the industry to find a way to make my own company. I wanted to fund it myself, build it myself, and make it happen on my own. I was more emotionally burnt out, I think, than physically. I was tired of being the moneymaker for somebody else. Everybody's just trying to make a buck. No one really cares as much as they used to. Fuck you. I'm out. So basically, I'm a non-traditional chef. I've always wanted to own my own restaurant, but I don't have $500,000. Where am I even to think about getting that? In the meantime, what do?
I never thought that cooking would explode the way it has. Chefs are on TV, chefs have become these superstars. People suddenly look at cooking and restaurants as sexy. You know, 30, 40 years ago, everyone used to think you only went in to be a chef because you were thick.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, chef.
One spaghetti of lobster.
Yes, chef.
One scallops.
Yes, chef.
Now, would you like me to fucking email that to your BlackBerry?
No, chef.
Move your ass!
Yes, chef.
Order one rabbit de jour, one crab de jour, follow one cod, one rump de jour, Samaj. No oil on top of this. Service, please. Let's go, table 16.
One vegetable coming.
I've been a chef probably for the last 30 years. My main mentor was Gordon Ramsay. You know, I started with him probably when I was about 23, 24, and then worked for Gordon for about 17 years in various restaurants. Right, how long, guys?
30 seconds on the rabbit pappardelle.
Yeah. When I started working, they all had a bet. They all said, you know, she'll do 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months or whatever. Because there hadn't been a woman who had worked there for a full year anyway, and they just didn't think anyone would last. Ready? I mean, it was nuts, and, you know, I used to look at my week and think, God, I haven't had a bollocking, I haven't been shouted at, and I'd then sort of get to Thursday and then something would happen, and I'd be like, oh, God, here we go. And my aim was always to try and get to Saturday without a rollicking. And eventually you did, because you got better. Samaj, 1 eel, 1 egg truffle, swallow 2 tag truffle. Yeah. How long for the ham? I used to just think Gordon was mad when he used to kick off and stuff. I just don't see the point. There's times when I've got so angry and, you know, and I can feel my face getting red and my neck and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, my God. And then you're so stressed for the next hour. It's not worth it. Service. Oh, you're there. Where's the other one? We need 2. Let's go, please. You're going to table 14, yeah? My first Michelin star was at the Connaught Hotel. We opened at the Connaught. After that had been 100 years of male chefs. You know, and there was uproar. There were some people that hated the fact I'd gone in there. I mean, I had this amazing receptionist at the time, Lydia, and this guy kept coming in. Every time he came, he moaned and complained, and he was an old regular that came for years. And he rang up and he said, is she still there, talking about me? And Lydia goes, yeah, Angela's still the chef. Oh, well, I'll have a table. And then what I loved about Lydia, she says, Why do you want a table? You don't like it here. You like the Connaught, but you don't like the fact we're here. You don't like Andrew. Say, why do you want to come and upset yourself? You know, and I thought, brilliant.
Yes, of course. Sorry.
Where we're sitting now is Murano. So Gordon and I opened Murano in 2008. And then 2011, I bought Gordon out of our partnership, and now I'm my own boss.
Right, service, please.
But the amount of people that will go, God, it's calm, isn't it? And why aren't you shouting and swearing? As if that's what they expect. And I go, we don't do that. And, you know, and people will go, oh, God, shout at them, you know, and it's like, why? Right, let's go. Plates out, Martina. How long on guinea fowl cod? That doesn't mean to say I'm not direct in my approach when things go wrong. Why is the food going cold? Why is the food not hot at the table? Why did they wait? You know, come on. But I don't need to swear and shout at them to get those answers. Let's go, table 5. Lovely.
A kitchen is not exactly the most hospitable place for a woman or for anybody who has any kind of thoughts about equal rights or, you know, fair treatment. It's not a place for the faint of heart. Hello there, welcome to 86 Mondays. I'm your host, Ivy Knight, and tonight is the first ever preserved fish battle. I've been hosting events for 8 years at the Drake Hotel. So take a station over there, that's fine. I was a cook for 10 years. At the 5-year mark, I realized I didn't have the proper temperament to be a head chef, and I wanted to write. So I spent the next 5 years in kitchens sort of working towards getting out of them. The thing that I rallied against was how much we were exploited as cooks and how much work was expected of us for so little pay.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2 spoons of spaghetti that was taking me a long time.
It is a tough place to work. And I think because you're cooking, you're playing with fire, things go wrong a lot and fast. Please, please, one tower, just figure out something. Any kind of Pockies, anything. I don't care. I just need the tower. No, just give me anything.
5 minutes on 15.
It's a very high-stress environment. Hot temperatures, like, you know, you're sitting in front of a 400, 500-degree oven for hours in the middle of summer with no air conditioning. You're frustrated, you're exhausted. The environment is so volatile that the worst of people can come out.
What do you need? Let's not do this. What is it that he needs?
Nothing.
What does he need? Since he screwed up already, I really don't want to know anything else, okay? Thank you.
My usual schedule is like 6 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day. I think pressure sometimes can get to you. And if you have an unbalanced life, you're going to be an unbalanced human being. That is obvious that we're not the most balanced bunch. You know what I mean?
After that bag tray, give me a tartare lonely, okay?
If you can't keep up, get the fuck out. There's no time for thoughtful chats about beetroot. Fuck off. Just get it done.
So unfortunately, these can't go out. It's too late. I'm sorry, but they have to come together. You guys have to count. It's 1 mini vegan, 2 regulars, all at the same time. I can't send out to one half of the table some food and not the other half.
You know, people say the oil, the knives. I mean, you know, people exaggerate that they think everyone's walking around with a knife and just ready to stab. I mean, you know, it's hard, but Christ alive, we're not, you know, it's not like that. I mean, at least not in any kitchen I've worked in.
Hi. So we're going to start in like 4 minutes.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Okay, here's how it's going to go. The culture is similar to frat boy culture or hazing culture. The newest cooks are the ones who are picked on. And as you fight your way up through the ranks, then eventually when you're in power, you just repeat the same cycle of abuse.
They break you down to build you back up, or they continue to break you down to keep you down so you know your position.
1 bread pudding.
Bread pudding.
Livers are ready, yeah?
Got it, yep.
I didn't come from that. I chose not to put myself in that circumstance. And so why would I do that in my own kitchen?
Still hot?
Yep. Yep. Just came out.
All right.
I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think that in the corporate world, 9 to 5, that it's typical for a guy to throw a woman over a table and pretend to like simulate fucking her from behind. But that happens all the time, or it happened to me all the time. I wasn't crying and calling up a rape counselor because it was part of the culture. I basically turned into a little shithead guy. I just wanted to be accepted and part of the team.
I did feel like I had to be one of the boys. But on some level, I also grew up feeling like I wasn't one of the girls. So, I certainly, I was never the femi girl. So I was already such an other that I'm so used to not being part of any situation that, by the time I got to the kitchen, it was just old hat.
Have you ever been assaulted? Have you ever been sexually harassed? I'm like, yeah, of course. It's sort of a part of the language of the kitchen. When I had my first chef position, I was like, I'm gonna hire only 18-year-old boys. They're gonna do all the heavy lifting. I'm gonna make them like put that down, pick it up, put it. That was my mentality when I was 23.
Oil and vinegar shrimp, and smoked trout with kimchi. Enjoy.
I'm just gonna hire hot guys to do all my work for me, and I'm just gonna be like this. I'm gonna have a harem of young men. I developed a bit of a language where I was verbally harassing people, very flirty, very open, and very physical, touching people. So I realized that that dialogue and that language what I trained and what I saw, as soon as I had the power to be in charge or to lead, I used that same language. But I didn't even think about it as being a negative thing. And then I realized that I'm also a part of the problem.
Enjoy. Crackers, you're golden.
Yeah, I was assaulted by my sous chef, and I should be clear, it wasn't sexual assault. He just hated me as a person. I don't think it mattered that I was a woman. I think it was a Saturday night service. It was midnight. We were finally closing. It had been a brutal service, and he told me to take apart my stove and start scrubbing it down. And I said, no, there's no way I'm doing that. That's just you. That's just something you've made up as a punishment, and there's no way. I don't get paid to do this shit. So I was talking back to him, and he started saying, yes, you are, yes, you will, and I screamed at him and said, go fuck yourself, and I walked away, and he came running after me, and he threw me down, and he had a clipboard, and the clipboard was jammed under my neck like this, and I couldn't breathe, and all I could see was his face and the giant vein on his forehead just pulsing, and his red face screaming. And I was kicking out because I was against the counter, and I was kicking out, and I finally connected with his knee. I think I connected with some part of his leg, and he let me go, and I ran out the door. And I told the owner the next day. I sat down with her. I was still shocked that this had happened, and I started crying, and she said, suck it up. What's wrong with you? You should have done what he told you to do. I was in the wrong, and I didn't respect him, and he could do whatever he liked.
We don't talk about these things, it's never going to get better. It's hard to talk about it. It's not always fun being the first person to talk about it, but you have to. How do other people learn if you don't talk about it?
Assault is wrong, sexual assault is wrong, abuse is wrong. I've had many conversations. I was actually asked to speak about a chef that was accused with assault not long ago. And I said, listen, I can't speak to this because this person that I know has never assaulted me. This person has always supported me as a mentor, as a colleague. So it's very complicated.
We have heard a lot of these stories about this kind of behavior in kitchens. The only way that's going to change is if chefs change it. The chef who is in that kitchen has to dictate the culture of that kitchen.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, Mama.
Hi. Hi. Come, let's go inside. Do you want to see Kid Chocolate? Have you seen the work that Daddy did? So Mousy, come, let me show you. Let me show you Mommy's kitchen. See, so here's the sink. So we'll be doing dishes here, and then we'll have the food that comes up here. Here's the working refrigerator. This is gonna be a steam table. This is Mommy's shiny new kitchen. Yeah. Isn't it nice? It's a lot smaller. And it's quite different than the other one, yeah? So there've been some changes. We had to close our doors to Saturday Dinette unexpectedly. We've had some real problems with our landlords, and we had to break our lease early. Come on, let's go. Saturday Dinette was going to be a support while we were building out, but now with that financial support gone, our thought has to shift a bit. We have to really rethink how are we going to fund the opening of a new project. I love you. Keep going. All right, I'll call you later. Kid Chocolate really is Johnny's baby, and he's been doing all the renovations through this whole process. It's, yeah, it's been a journey, but that's the dinette, and this is Kid Chocolate. Such a shame. There's so many good things about that space. You know, it was 3 years of my life, and that may not seem like a lot of time, but it was definitely such an important time. My son was almost born in that, you know, in that restaurant. I'll always have a connection to the space. That was my everything. That was my baby.
Hi. All right, how are you?
Good, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Hey, how are you? Good. Good. There's just so many moving parts in a restaurant. 1 month, some, $50,000 piece of equipment could go down. And, do you have that or not? We don't really get into this to be business people or even to make money on some level. But if you don't, you can't cook. But it's always stressful. Yeah, even when you're doing well, it can be stressful. So I've announced that we're going to be closing at the end of May. We've got 4 weeks left. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I'd like to see what else I can do.
Anita was so important in the city, and we want to make sure that female chefs aren't a dying breed. We have to keep pushing it for more and more recognition so that other female chefs who are coming up behind us realize that there is a place for them in this industry. We tend to write women chefs out of the history of chefdom. The most famous women chef who was written out of history is Eugénie Brazier, who was one of the grand mères of Lyon. It was the 1930s, 1933 or so. Eugénie Brazier had gone to Paris, and she had 3 restaurants, and she ended up with like 6 Michelin stars. Hugely celebrated. And then time goes on, da-da-da. That was a number of years ago. Alain Ducasse gets his 6th Michelin star. And everybody writes about him as being the first person in history who has ever gotten 6 Michelin stars. But she was actually the first. So that's what I mean when women are written out of history. We've forgotten that part of it.
When I started working, I didn't really care about all the women. I just wanted men to recognize me as a chef. But now, I feel that we have to be more all together as a woman in the kitchen, to be more solidaire. I have 7 Michelin stars. I have 3 Michelin stars here in Valence. In France, I'm the only woman to have 3 stars. And in the world, there is only 6 women to have 3 stars or more. It's 25 years I am in the kitchen, but I was not a chef from the beginning. I decided to return home after my studies because I wanted to learn how to cook. Et je suis revenue vraiment en voulant apprendre ce métier auprès de mon père. When I decided to return, I could not imagine it would be so hard, so difficult, because I could not imagine my father passed away a few months after I came back. Donc, il n'y a pas eu de passage vraiment... Enfin, en tout cas, le Michelin a considéré après le décès de mon père qu'il fallait qu'on regagne l'étoile. Du fait qu'elle a été perdue après le décès de mon père et que je l'ai regagnée, ça a vraiment quelque chose de très important pour moi. Donc, j'ai fait un devoir de mémoire. Ça faisait, c'est vrai, 50 ans qu'il n'y avait pas eu de femme à 3 étoiles, spécifiquement la mère Brazier. Et pour moi, ça a une signification particulière parce que j'étais à la fois une autodidacte et une femme. Et je pensais que c'était 2 inconvénients majeurs en France. En France. The 30s or the 40s with my grandfather, it didn't make a difference between a woman or a man in the kitchen. After, during my father's period, it was different. Avec mon père, on voit apparaître la naissance des écoles hôtelières. On n'acceptait pas les femmes. Elles ont appris par elles-mêmes parce qu'elles n'hésitent pas à accepter dans les écoles hôtelières. I was, how to say at the beginning, very respectful for the history, and I was afraid to do something wrong. Then I gained more self-confidence. It was little by little, step by step.
On peut se mettre une chousse de miel en plus.
I have the palette, so it was something, a reference for me, what was really important. Something I was sure of was that.
Elle est bien, ne mettez pas trop de... Remettez plus du bouillon.
But technically, I had to learn so many things.
Vous avez remis du miel, hein, il me semble. Ouais, c'est bien là.
La cuisine, elle n'est pas devenue calme comme ça, sans bataille avant. Hein. Faut pas penser que je suis arrivée et que du jour au lendemain, la cuisine a été parfaitement calme, que tout était merveilleux. Là, je me suis retrouvée face à la brigade, donc sans mon mentor supposé qui était mon père. Et là, je me suis sentie vraiment très mal. parce que je pensais avoir de la bienveillance, obtenir de la bienveillance de ceux qui travaillent avec mon père. Non. En tant que femme dans ma propre cuisine, puisque quand je suis arrivée, j'avais peu de considération. Pour eux, j'étais pas l'héritière, j'étais pas légitime. J'ai pas expérimenté le harcèlement, bien sûr, parce que j'étais leur patronne aussi, donc pas forcément cette chose-là précisément, mais j'ai expérimenté une forme de harcèlement, en fait, qui était un rejet de ma personne, du fait que j'étais une femme qui était devenue invivable, parce que comment prouver, et que j'ai dû me battre.
How many lamb on there?
I've got one lamb.
Rum. Du jour?
No, the jour, no. À la carte, à la carte.
Samaj, 6 covers table 14, 2 squash, 1 risotto à la carte, 1 eel, 2 rabbit à la carte, 1 radishes. To follow 2 beef, 1 brill, 1 hake, 1 lamb à la carte, 1 monkey. Samaj. Historically, a kitchen brigade, which is basically the kitchen team, has followed those French traditions. Oscar is the head chef, so he's overall responsibility for everything. Sous chefs, you have Martina and Emily.
Can we make sure it's nice and salty, the water, and it's boiling? Yeah.
And then you have guys underneath that are all the chef de parties. They're the ones that then run the sections. The meat and fish, pastry, garnish and larder, they should be able to do it all. I think it's changed a lot now. I've never said to anyone, call me chef. I'm more than happy. I mean, Oscar calls me Angela, Laura calls me Angela. Service! Let's go. I certainly don't worry about it. I'm quite happy being called Angela. Because if we want things to change and we want people to be treated equally, I think that's partly to do with how you run it and how you work in a kitchen. Lemon, let's go. Wait, come on.
The brigade system is based on the military, and that is obvious if you looked at it from a distance. They look very similar, the military and the kitchen world.
Repeat starters, pappardelle and risotto à la carte.
Wait.
Even though I may not like the military, I don't know whether it's because I come from Chile or not, but it's so structured, but it makes so much sense. Careful with the salt, add a little bit of lemon. Yeah, that's a little heavy on the seasoning. I would say it's about how you command, right? So there is a chief of command, that will be your chef de cuisine. There is hierarchy. You listen to one person and that person says yes and no, and that's what it is. There's no room for, oh, let's just talk about it.
Where's Jason? Jason, do you have your zucchini batter set up?
Yes.
It's done. I'd like you to take out the stove and have it set up. I think actually that brigade hierarchical system is great. I think it gives structure. I think it's terrific. You know exactly who your boss is. You know what the chain of command is. No, too many. You're never only allowed to carry 3 things at the very, very most. The staff that I'm getting is much, much younger. I have like 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds, and this is college for them. And structure isn't a bad thing. Jim, don't leave your towel on your counter. I will remind you of that. But I also tell everybody, it's just a job. I'm gonna yell at you, it's gonna feel really tough, and in 5 minutes, it's done.
For me, as a young person, when I went into that militaristic brigade system, it was a good time of my life to have that kind of structure, and I was happy for it. That being said, I don't think I was that welcomed as a female. The first course is yellowfin tuna crudo with avocado shrug, crispy chickpeas, and Aleppo pepper. We've got Aleppo pepper downstairs, so just have that on your station. It was very difficult learning how to be a manager. It was one of the most painful things. You know, we're supposed to nurture, and we're not supposed to lead. Okay, I would put them in, what I would do is put them in the 4-ounce molds. Okay. Not too much. It should be about the mushroom. It's not about the pastry.
Male chefs, they want to be there, you know. We are the chef. We do everything. We shout. I don't want to work like this. Aventure. When I did that, I was not concentrated on the real things. For me, the real things is the taste.
Vous avez mis gingembre? Ah bon, on y va alors.
Laissez chauffer un peu. To be precise. I'm very precise and I want people to be precise and they need to be precise.
Don't grate your finger, Omri. We love your fingers. And remember, give me the cookies and cream with rum, not the one that doesn't have rum. That's what I
Rum, yes.
Omri,
Yeah.
are you okay? Yeah. I would appreciate the tone to be a little bit different. Yes, rum, okay, yes, okay, cool.
Yes.
Wonderful. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I'm gonna be very direct. Oh, no, you don't wanna flat it out, Omri, man. Man, it's like, let it fall naturally, you know? You don't wanna... I see a lot of, you know, like a double standard. If I am tough and serious and direct, I'm gonna be more criticized instead if I was a man. If I were a man, no one would say anything, but because I'm a woman, they're like, oh, she's so difficult. You're supposed to be nicer. You're supposed to be softer. You're supposed to be sweeter. Bueno, okay. Omri, next time, don't ever... You need way more color. No, on this side, there's not enough color. I said that to you before. Make sure you get good color. You need the garlic oil, so pay more attention to it, okay? It's something so simple as a waffle, and it's kind of funny and ridiculous that at least you need to make sure that the cooking is right. Because if not, it's also funny, stupid, and poorly executed, okay?
Oui, on a un ordre de brigade. La structure, elle est là, on la garde, mais j'aime qu'elle soit un peu ouverte. Bon, là, il va falloir... Je l'ai vraiment amélioré par rapport à ça dans ma cuisine. Allez, dégustation.
Oui.
À dégustation, hein. Truffe blanche, allez-y. Des fois, dans certains restaurants, tout est très cloisonné. Très, très cloisonné. Et ici, je veux pas ça. Parce que ça n'encourage pas, en fait, l'esprit d'équipe. Et c'est quelque chose, en tant que femme, j'ai observé très vite. Plus c'est cloisonné, plus on est les uns contre les autres. Et souvent, c'est vraiment un esprit que j'ai voulu changer par rapport à ça. Non mais mangez bien parce que ça va être fort. Justine, Gary, Marie, vous goûtez ça. Vous goûtez ça. Oui, j'aimerais avoir plus de femmes dans la cuisine que je n'ai aujourd'hui. Mais j'essaie vraiment beaucoup de les protéger au sein de la maison. Voilà, là, vous voyez la brillance qu'il y a? Pas pareil le plat. Hein. La cuisine française, c'est la brillance. Super. Souvent, je dis à mes équipes, je veux que vous vous éleviez techniquement, précisément, mais élevez aussi votre caractère et votre façon d'être. Je n'ai pas imaginé au début, quand j'ai décidé d'apprendre la cuisine, qu'une partie de mon travail aussi serait une implication pour faire s'élever l'équipe, la partie humaine de l'entreprise.
In London, there's 4 restaurants that I'm associated with. Murano's, if you like, the figurehead. Then we have 2 Cafe Muranos. And then we have Merchant's Tavern. It's East End, so it's a bit more quirky, but brilliant food. Why is it with the mayonnaise and lemon? Is that what they put them on the menu? Yeah. Does it actually say haggis croquettes with lemon and mayo? Yeah. I'm going to kill them. You know, everyone presumed, you know, the Midas touch, but actually it's not as easy as everyone thinks. Back in that Gurnard, it's not a joke. With more competition, fewer staff, higher rents and rates, there's lots of things that are contriving to make it harder and harder daily. Guys, you need to have here, we're missing the saucers for the side plates. We're missing the underplates. I said these are too small. It's like repeating myself every day. No.
People do have this misconception about when they go to a restaurant. I think they just think they're paying for the actual food on their plate and maybe the tip to their server. But really, the price of the meal, it's like you're renting that table for the night. They see a busy restaurant and they think you're making a lot of money. We do. We take in a ton of money at Dirt Candy, probably close to somewhere between $180,000 and $200,000 a month. It also cost me about $180,000, $200,000 a month to run the restaurant. You want to take the wine? You want to smell it? Show him how to swirl the wine. So he opens it up.
Swirl it a little bit. Now, it's just gonna release it. I'm trying not to do it too much. All right, now. Go, yeah, but get close. Don't put your nose in. Don't be afraid. Get close.
We made a couple of really big changes. We're trying to up our game, and we're now stepping into fine dining.
So like I was saying in those trainings, like you guys bring a certain element of your personality. That is something that you should continue to focus on.
We've had a front of house consultant, Michael Cherry, the general manager at Anita, come in and work with us. Our servers have gone through weeks and weeks of training, and we've sort of all been like relearning all the recipes and how to make them more precise so that we really are consistent, and how to slow down a little bit so that we're doing a better job. All right, so now I'm waiting for 1, 2, 3 more towers. We are not going down tonight. We are not going down. We are at 92, and we are not going down. Oh, no, leave all that. Tower goes to 301. Adam, you will follow. Not 301. Yes, 301. Oh, well, they went. We have a lot of growing pains, just sort of figuring out how this whole new system works. While we do sort of want to get new customers in, we also want to make sure that we don't offend everybody who we used to have, and it is this delicate balance.
Thank you, folks. Really appreciate your patience. Sorry about that, guys. So this is your salad course. So we have these in tiers. Your bottom tier would be your vegetables. Your middle is your lettuce. With every salad, you have lettuce. And then on top are our croutons or breadsticks. So I'll go one by one. So on the bottom, you have some hanshi meji mushrooms and a mushroom milk, agua chili cucumbers, and some melon.
Obviously white truffle. Let's push white truffle and let's push fish today.
Angela needs the whole truffle for tonight's dinner. So make sure, please, that everything is nice and clean. Okay.
You can't rest on your laurels. It's not about white tablecloths, it's not about glassware and fancy pictures, it's about the consistency of that food on the table. But, you know, sometimes everyone's now trying to be so different from it, you know, and you'll go somewhere and everyone, you know, you'll be lucky if you get a glass, never mind a napkin. And I'm going, I'd quite like a tablecloth, and I'd like not to be sitting next to the table like this so I can actually hear what I think. And maybe I'm old, but, you know, that's not to say there's not a place for everything else, but I think there still is a place for fine dining, for want of a better word, shall we say.
My father, he trained me to taste. Every time we share a lunch or a dinner, he was making some remarks on what he was eating. Avoir la cuisine d'essai pour moi depuis 2 ans, c'est un lieu où on échange, où on décide ensemble, où on fait des choix ensemble. Et c'est important pour moi. Et c'est pas toujours ce que j'ai fait au début, mais je trouve que c'est beaucoup plus valorisant de le faire maintenant, de partager ma connaissance. Moi, c'est vrai que ce que je retiens plus, c'est que le premier me paraissait au nez un peu plus vert, un peu... Je le trouve assez texturé, en fait, mais un peu boisé, un peu râpeux en termes de texture sur la langue. Le deuxième, moi, je l'ai trouvé alors plus fermenté, plus épicé, plus chaud au nez, avec une acidité plus importante que le premier, plus long en bouche.
Un tout petit peu... On travaille l'orge maltais en ce moment et j'avais un petit peu ce côté orge.
Un peu céréales.
Un peu chicoré dans celui-ci qui m'a un peu surpris et qui... Ah, c'est ça.
There's a lot of flavors, so each member of the team has to really understand where I want to go. It's not so easy. It's more complex to transmit.
Il est très équilibré, la vertu est belle. Juste en cloche.
Voilà. Voilà, le client vient chez nous, il vit une expérience de goût, d'odeur, de saveur. Mais au-delà de ça, il y a aussi le rituel de la salle. Il y a aussi quelque chose que chacun d'entre nous va amener au client comme une expérience nouvelle. Et ça passe par la culture.
Voici l'huître tarbrouillèche, accompagnée d'un crème de topinambour et donc de la préparation qui a été faite devant vous. Voici.
Merci.
Avec plaisir.
Merci.
All right. I like to smash it to get all that butter and brown sugar, just like so good. How are you guys enjoying the tasting so far?
It's awesome.
Awesome. Have you been here before?
We have, but not for the tasting.
It's really great. All right, now we're ready. The funny thing with a restaurant is it's actually not always about the food. It's about the whole show. And then we have our lemon ice cream. I feel like going out to eat should be like a party. This is my party, and you've come to my house, and I throw a party every night, and hopefully you like it, and hopefully you have a good time. I loved having dinner at the table with my family. I have a big family. So for me, though, the memories with food have less to do with the actual food and more to do with all the circumstances surrounding it, which is a big part of this restaurant. I hope we've managed to give you a really good time. Yeah, your tasting hasn't even gotten good yet. You're actually at the bad parts. It gets really good.
The journalist goes, do you think you could write me 400 words, Angela? And I went, no. That's not what I was going to say. I like the camaraderie in a kitchen. I like the banter. Not to say everyone's a saint, you know, we all take the mickey out of each other and we all have a laugh about things.
Thank you.
Pleasure. No, not at all.
Absolutely super.
Good, yeah, no. Well, and I like seeing customers have a great time, and you've been part of that. When you know that someone's had a wonderful time in your restaurant, they've enjoyed the service, they've enjoyed the food, and they're very happy about it, that's a very good feeling. See you later.
Bye-bye.
OK, how are we looking?
Ça, c'est vraiment bon. As a chef that has worked for other employers for many years, I wanted to have my own opportunity to showcase what I wanted to do and how I do it. And I was like, well, I'm just going to throw a dinner party and see if people want to come. So people are calling these pop-ups underground, they're top secret, they're exclusive or whatever, I keep going back to that word, because they're not totally on the grid. And that makes them actually have a bit more panache.
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you, Valerie.
So tonight, for example, the majority of the guests that are coming, I have no idea who they are. Like, they're just signing up. It's like, dear so-and-so, I'm having this lovely dinner. I'd love for you to be a guest. Here's a website link to this email to make a reservation. Come if you can. Any allergies across the board? No? Excellent. The bathroom's there. There's a more intimate bathroom upstairs if you need to, like, make out or take your shirt off or something like that. But in the meantime, that one's probably going to do for now. I think people want to have more like of an interactive experience. They don't want to just pay for dinner. It's like the evolution of a dinner and a show is now the dinner and the show is together. Oui, merci. Guys, get into it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Cheers. Happy holidays, pre-holidays. Hey. Oh, we.
There is another table that would really love to meet you if possible.
Yeah.
We've been here a number of times.
Okay. Oh, there they are.
We'd actually been trying to plan. We were like, Anissa's closing. We have to go. We have to go.
Are you guys in the business, or?
We're all the pig. We're all, yeah.
Oh, you're all the pig.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. And I
I'm not going anywhere.
I know you're not. You can come
You
visit
can always
me
call me.
anytime.
You're back, yay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh. Oh, you're going to do that, yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's a little heartbreaking.
Oh, well, thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
And a dream to come to this restaurant.
Awesome, awesome. How's everything so far?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been kind of sad to see all these customers come by, but just every day, like it's just, we're so sad to see you go.
I wrote on Facebook that the best chef in America is closing tonight.
Oh, thank you.
You are.
Oh, thank you.
How's it going?
Let's do this. Selfie. It was never comfortable for me to actually have to be that public persona of Chef Anita Lowe. And it's kind of a relief. You know, yes, and there's a lot of people that do this their entire lives and, you know, die doing it. That's not me. It's time for the younger generation to step up.
All right, so for patties tonight, we're doing beef, spiced apple, parsnip is our veggie. We've got the ube pie. We have the 3 individual, and then we also have a slice of this once we get to that point.
Okay.
Um,
Let's do red wine with this, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Split?
Yeah, red wine with that. Let's really, let's push the sides. The sauteed greens, the tostones, the patties, those little add-ons just to get our tickets up a bit. So Saturday night has closed. Kid Chocolate's not ready to go. I was offered an opportunity to come and work as co-executive chef at the Gladstone Hotel.
You know, I only have only one thing.
Bigger, more?
Yeah, more.
You know, I think I was known for what I was doing for Saturday Dinette. Now people can know me for doing something quite different at, you know, a very well-established hotel. So right now, as a family, my income from the Gladstone is the only income that we have coming in. So that's a bit of a strain on us. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you. Bye, guys.
I'm not quite sure this is my favorite dish, but this is certainly the dish that I'm going to be known for, which are the foie gras soup dumplings. I opened with that. We still have it on the menu. My father was from Shanghai, which is where the xiaolongbao, the soup dumpling, comes from. I put some foie gras in it and put some seared foie gras on top. And for the soup part, I used one of my mother's recipes based on a red cooked meat, which is something that she would make us for dinner every once in a while. All right, done. All right, she served me well for 17 years. Food is certainly emotional, like, because we've had those ties to mom and nourishment, and it's identity. Yeah, there's so many things that, you know, could be your, you know, Proustian Madeleine, you know.
I find the meaning of a lot of things when I cook. Everything makes sense. I make this sauce, I love the color, and I smell, and it took me to somewhere. So I get transported to not necessarily something that I ate, but it's something that brings me home. and I'm in love with what I do. So it is my constant lover. I haven't given up. It's the only thing that I haven't really, you know, oh, it's too much and I'm done. It's what moves me.
Anna, did you get one?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for sticking it out to the end. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Good luck with everything.
Thanks, Chef.
I will always be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should you need anything. Now sing. Remember
all the time.
so
cheesy.
together.
Now you killed it. I know.
Cheers, thank you. Yeah, having more women in kitchens is definitely changing something, but I think we can't solve this problem from just our side. Just having more women in kitchens isn't going to do it. You know, when you talk about solving something, there's usually like a system, you know, that is complex, that needs to be addressed. Yeah, I would love to be able to change that culture. I'm doing my best.
Let's use these to go into a mango creme, but I want thicker. Kitchens are not diverse enough. My whole goal, my whole dream is to offer training. And right now, the focus is women. I know that I can only ask myself, what have I done today in order to make this come about? This is personal for me. I'm sorry. It's kind of like the job that needs to be done, but we believe in you, you can do it. It's just sharpening your knife skills. That's what it's all about. It's all you think about, brunoise, brunoise, brunoise.
If there's a woman at the top, she's probably had to go through a lot to get there. And if they're of my generation or around my generation, my feeling is that they probably are nicer and are trying to run a better kitchen because they've known what happened in the past. At the same time, I have heard stories of female chefs in the city who aren't that nice and who aren't that easy to work with. So, you know, what I want and hope for isn't necessarily true. We will ruin our industry if we don't fix this problem. We have to make it less macho. We have to start celebrating good kitchens, happy places to work that are really supportive of their workers.
On ne peut pas faire ce métier en étant brusque. La partie humaine dans ce métier est très importante et reste très importante. Parce qu'il faut aimer les autres. Il faut avoir envie de donner. Si on veut juste recevoir, on n'est pas fait pour ce métier. On ne peut pas faire ce métier sans humanité. A restaurant is a way to show to people that we love them.